how you can become happier, ways for us to use the power of our own little neurons and the energy or the vibrations in our bodies and our souls that connect to the universe. Hey beautiful biscuits, welcome back to the Wholesome Feed. If you are new here, I am Rose Kelly. I write fabulous romance books as well as some really wonderful manifestation work that's also on my Patreon page, who I love communicating with because it's a pretty cool community on there, I gotta say. But today I kind of thought it would be fun to do a little reflection on happiness. It's something I talk about on Patreon all the time. Talk about it a pretty fair amount on Instagram as well. And I thought, oh, you know what? There's so many people that aren't feeling super happy this time of year. Can I do this with my hair? Should I go full? Why not dive in a little bit to what makes me happy, how you can become happier, ways for us to use the power of our own little neurons and the energy or the vibrations in our bodies and our souls that connect to the universe, get a little bit cheerier, get a little bit happier, and kind of realize how can we get to a place where our neutral is happiness. So the first thing you got to do when you're thinking about happiness is to ask yourself, what's that mean to you? If you close your eyes and you say, Rose, this is what I see in my heart of hearts when I am thinking about happiness, what comes up? Is it a place, people, a job, things, experiences? Is it a state of mind? So give that some thought. What does happiness actually mean to you? Because it's hard to manifest and attract things in our life if we don't know what they are, right? If it's just kind of a vague concept, but it's not real, then we don't have any actual steps to take because we don't know where we're headed. We don't know which steps are going to lead us to that because we don't know where we're going. 5 of the best ways I have found to manifest and notice and bring in happiness into my everyday life. Because there's points in our life, there are these huge exclamation points, big things, marriages, births of children, big grand adventures, maybe moves or big work accomplishments, amazing holidays, things that are big exclamation points. But the rest of it are the sentences of our life. And how do we notice the happiness in those sentences in the chapters of our lives, right? Because our chapters will just flow by. I mean, oh my God, is it quick to have everything just swoosh by and you're 20, 30, 40, 50 chapters into your book of your life and you haven't really taken time to notice, are you happy, are you not? Is what you're doing making you happy or is it really not making you happy anymore? Number one thing I do is I express gratitude. When I go to bed, my thought as I am going to sleep is not, what do I have to do? Because that sets off my nervous system. What didn't I get done today? What did I do today? What's coming up? What has been? No, it's what's something I'm thankful for. Frequently that's, cuddling my kids as they fall asleep or something really nice that happened that day. Just a small bit of gratitude. And I think about it. I make it real. I experience that goodness that had happened that day again. And even if it's something really tiny that I could have absolutely overlooked, I will go to bed more joyful and I will wake up happier. Just that little tiny mind reset. The second thing I do to help bring up happiness into my everyday is how I'm eating. I know you're like, oh, Rose, food, oh, trigger. I know. It's not about a diet. It's not about a healthness regime, fitness routine or anything. It's, am I eating foods that bring me happiness? And frequently, those are also foods that nourish me. There's a lot of tasty desserts that can be nourishing. And it also can be nourishing to have something super full of butter and sugar and deliciousness because it makes me happy. And the number one worst thing for your health? It's not what you're eating. It's the stress your body's experiencing. So if you got some food that you want to make that you're like, it's a naughty food, there's no such thing as naughty food. There are treats. There are delicious things that nourish your body, and there are ho-hum things that you gotta eat because it makes you healthy. Like I have a vitamin routine that I take because I have systemic, that's not the right word, continuous. I have a bunch of anemia problems and vitamin absorption problems, so I just have to be careful and make sure that I keep up on my vitamins. Are those fun to take? No. Is everything else I'm eating pretty enjoyable? No, that's meant that I've had to learn marinades and sauces, how to make things from scratch, because I want most of what I'm eating to be food that I consider nourishing to my body. I recovered from having PCOS, from being, which is cysts that grow on your ovaries. It's horrible, absolutely painful, multiple trips to the emergency rooms over the years. I was pre-diabetic. I was on pre-diabetic medication because it was so serious. And I recovered from that completely in so many ways. Like blood sugar is way better, health is way better, cyst stuff way better. All the things that associate with that, so much better. Skin is way better, hair grows longer and thicker through food I eat, by learning how to cook and feed myself. Because I'm a picky eater, and it's got to taste good. It's got to be delicious. So ways to make yourself happy: have delicious food. Third thing I do is I take more time off. I am a chronic overworker because I'm convinced that if I work hard enough and if I get monetarily successful in some amount that's in my brain, that everyone will love me and appreciate me and adore me and compliment me and say, "Good job, Rose." And so I am just a chronic overworker, and I know this about myself. I have learned this through much soul searching, and I've had to learn to be okay with taking time off. And it doesn't mean I take months off, sabbaticals or anything, but taking time off, having a morning off, having an afternoon off, taking a few days here and there where I'm not being useful and productive, but I'm being useful to my soul and to my happiness. The next thing I do is, if I want to find a little bit more happiness in my everyday, the magic in the mundane, as I like to say on Patreon, I'm going to play with my skincare and my hair care. What are luscious scents? Can I add a little tiny bit of an essential oil to a lotion? Can I use rose water on my skin? Can I do a luxurious milk bath? Can I use a special hairbrush or comb that'll tickle me and do my ASMR kind of sensation when I brush my hair? What is a special lip gloss that is going to make me happy? You know what? Little small thing is going to bring me physical happiness, and that can be big, because when our bodies are happy, it's a lot easier to get in sync with our minds, and vice versa. When our minds are happy, it's a lot easier to get in sync with our bodies and listen to them and know what makes you happy. If you really want to get happy every day, try noticing what's around you. And I don't mean that as like, oh, my gratitude journal, I write in it 5 times a day. I just mean notice details. What's the texture of a rug? What's the edge of a curtain? How's that leaf look on a tree that you're looking out your window? Small things bring me so much delight. I am a little detail noticing artist because I go through the life very much sensory overloaded existence, human beings, super overloaded for my brain, right? My brain does not process that stuff. But my brain loves to process little tiny details. What's the story? Could that leaf be a little forest fairy? Could the curtain be the edge of where a damsel peeks out at her duke that's coming home from a romance? What are the little details? The texture of the rug. What's a little bit of pattern that could walk through there? That kind of stuff brings me so much happiness. When you wake up in the morning, I want you to think of something that you're going to be grateful for at the end of the day. And then I want you to make your actions match what that thing of gratitude is. Do you want to be grateful for having made a delicious loaf of bread? Do you want to be grateful for having finished something on your work to-do list that it's kind of been nagging at you and you got to get it done? Do you want to be grateful for having had a really beautiful connection with your kids or your spouse? Do you want to be grateful at the very end of the day for having played with your pets? Something actually tangible that you can accomplish that day. I want you to wake up every morning. I want you to really think about that, because you'll be surprised how your actual physical actions during the day change when you know where you're headed that evening. So this is a reflection that is so powerful. And it's not one that you might be able to answer now, but if you can, tell me in the comments. I am really curious. How, because some folks can answer this instantly, and a lot of people really have to think on it. How do you measure success and happiness? What is your unit of measurement for that? What does it mean to have a happy life? What level of success in what departments of your life do you need to hit as a metric to count that as happiness? I'm so curious. I'm going to continue this whole conversation over on Patreon because happiness is my shebang. I love talking about it. We don't talk about it enough. We don't prioritize it enough. It is something that is a guiding compass in my life. True depth of happiness, which only comes from a heart of gratitude and a body of work full of action where you are actively manifesting beautiful things into your life, happy things into your life.